Hey everyone, it is Monday morning. Not a whole lot going on today, but we have a guy working on the windows here today. His name's Jonathan. He's working for the other guy that's been contracted to do it. Anyways, he's working on the doors. I'm just going to show you the glass doors and that kind of stuff that's here now and he's going to install today. So here we have the glass doors. And as you can see here, they all have locks, latches installed with keys. And then we've got the tracks. These are long pieces of metal, the same color as the rest of the frame. And then inside them fits the actual track that the wheels glide on. The doors are suspended. So we're happy about that, and we're happy that is progressing. We have been waiting a long time for these windows, so we're finally starting to get some progress on that. Meanwhile, I am in the process of putting a drain tube in for the washing machine in one of the sinks. It just drains out here onto the ground. We're hoping that we can use the water from that to help irrigate some of the trees that we've been planted around here, and we have to add 3 or 4 more extensions here so it goes down toward the bottom. And as far as exactly how that's going to water the plants, I don't know. We're still thinking about putting holes in here, maybe putting a cap on the end. I haven't quite figured that out yet, so still working on that. Other than that, Laurel's been working a little bit on the garden. We bought a couple of plants. We're buying some here and there. We're actually going to buy some plantain and banana plants to put along this side, and she bought a small tree she planted in here up behind me. Other than that, we're not up to much. I'm supposed to be working on the cover for the filter system today, among other things. Okay, we will keep you informed as to the progress. Thanks for tuning in. Well everyone, it is Tuesday just before lunch, and I've got the basic structure for the casita, little shed, done. It's just a very simple structure made out of metal. Consists mainly of just 4 posts really, with 1 extra post in the center and some joists going across the top. Now I have to add these sticks 3 meters long to the roof, and this is my roofing material. It's actually cement board, shaped like ceramic roofing tiles. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'll put those up on the roof right after lunch. Okay, so I've got the first row of the roofing installed. As I mentioned earlier, this is cement board. For that reason, you have to pre-drill the holes. You have to pre-drill the holes before you put the screws in. I didn't have the proper screws either with the rubber washer, so I just used 4-inch screws and some kind of rubber-like substance that I could find. You'll also notice here that I doubled up this cross member on top of the rafters as opposed to the single down there. I just didn't like the slope. I wanted a little bit more slope, which I miscalculated, of course, so I added 1 there, and now I'm going to have to add at least 1 there, maybe 1.5 up here. Anyways, moving right along. Hey everyone, it is Wednesday morning. I just finished attaching the last few sections of this roof. Doesn't look too bad. Matches the existing roof quite well, I think. So now I just need to add some structural elements out of wood in between these steel studs here and there. And then I'm going to mount some very light plywood that I have here. It's actually particle board. Okay, so that's what I'm up to today. So here I have the basic wood structure that I've added. I need to add some around these outlets so that I can put a piece of plywood coming in from the top and from the bottom so that I can work on them should I need to. And then I got a couple down here and 1 on the other end. The plywood on this is not really structural other than to keep it square. It's just to keep the sun out more than anything. Sun and the rain. Well, I have the majority of the shed covered now. As you can see, I've got this end completely covered. And halfway up the front side between the house and the shed, I've left a little opening there to turn the valve on and off. And there's a tiny little opening down here. That's just to connect with a hose should I need to drain that tank. And likewise on this end, I've got this end covered as well with an opening for the valve. This section here I have left for now. I need to make two horizontal doors, I guess you'd call it, flaps, on hinges, so that I can easily just open them quickly and take a look at the tanks and shut off the valves or what I need to do. So that is the project for tomorrow. And Jonathan's been working on the glass doors today. He's got most of them installed. He's got 2 left, I believe. Hey everyone, it is Thursday afternoon and I have finished more or less the little, I'm calling it the Cantina watermelon stand. You'll see why in a bit. Anyway, it's completely covered in, has a roof on it. Okay, so I'm going to show you why I call it a cantina or a tienda for watermelons or whatever. Because it's got a nice little flip down door. Yeah, so from the front it looks like a little stand. In fact, if you raise these up, it would definitely look more like a little stand. Anyway, putting them on hinges was a brilliant idea because then I can quickly access the top of both tanks, check the levels, make any repairs that I need to, open and close this valve should I need to, or what have you. And yet it is completely closed in for rain and for sun. So I still have to make a cover for the pump. I've been thinking about making a flip-up roof just above where that valve in a hole in the wall is, and then just have a removable wall that kind of goes around it. I got to work around all those pipes, and it has to be easily accessible so I can access that pump without too much trouble. I would like to put a little roof on there using that same red roofing material, but that is going to be for another day. Hey, good morning everyone. It's a beautiful day here in Malacatos this Monday morning. Another week has gone by. I haven't been working a whole lot on the house, just here and there, little odds and ends, trying to get some things finished. This week, however, I am hopefully starting on the cabinets. I have been working on the weekend and on Friday, trying to get some things arranged. I'll show you some of the things that I've done to prepare for to get a start on these cabinets. So one of the first things that I did is I built this workbench for my chop saw, among other things. It's 8 feet long, made out of 5/8 inch plywood. It's got a flat surface on it, it's 16 inches wide, and it's got some little pockets in the back for stuff. Along with that, I also built just a small table for my chop saw to support whatever I'm cutting. I don't really even need this at this moment. I haven't even started breaking down the plywood yet, but I will need it in the future. Another thing that I did was I built a new sled for my table saw. Now, if you don't know what a cutoff sled is, well, you can look it up on the internet. There's probably lots of videos on how to make them. I had 2 of them actually, a bigger one and a smaller one, but I replaced the bigger one. This one now can cut up to 30 inches, and it's quite a bit wider. It's 30 inches on either side, so that when you're cutting a full-length 4x, in this case it'd be 2x8 chunk of wood, it will support the weight. 25 sheets of 5/8 inch plywood. So I have to break these all down into about 24 inches. Okay, so that's the plan for the next couple of weeks at least. Okay, so we're going to keep plugging away as best we can. Okay, so I have got all of the sides and all of the bottoms cut for the cabinets, the lower cabinets. Okay, so these are rough cuts. That is to say they're cut oversized slightly, 1/2 inch usually. Now what I got to do is go back through and cut every single one of them again, but this time I'm cutting them exactly to size. So I've decided to put the edge banding on before I cut them to width. I've got my edge banding right here. It's kind of a wood of some sort. It almost looks a little bit like beech. Unfortunately, I do not have a banding machine. You can't even buy, at least in this part of the country, the rolls that have the glue on there that you put on with an iron or a heat gun. Simply don't exist. So you have to buy just a regular rolls, and you have to put contact cement on that. That's the only thing that works. I've tried spray glue, I've tried white glue, and it doesn't really work. Contact cement works the best as far as adhesion is concerned, but it is extremely slow and painstaking. So I have to dab it on with a little brush, and then I have to dab it on that, let it dry a little bit, and then hammer it down. Well, that's what I'm doing right now. Well, good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday morning. It's actually a beautiful day here today in Malacatos, Ecuador. It did rain last night, though, but that's okay. Who needs the rain? Things are starting to green up around here quite a bit. So the next step in the process of making these cabinets is I got my bases all cut and I've got all my sides cut to size. So what I have to do now is I have to cut 2 of these pieces 6 inches wide by exactly the same width as the base. Okay, so that's what I'm up to today, and I'm hoping to get most of these finished today. Talk to you in a bit. Hey everyone, it is Friday morning. Another week has gone by. So I have been working on my cabinets. I didn't work on them at all yesterday. I had to go to Loja to buy some things, and the guys were working on the glass and they needed the table here and everything was spread all out. We're having some issues with getting things fitted correctly with respect to the glass, but we're hoping that will be straightened out by the middle of next week. Anyways, I had forgot to make a couple of small pieces, quite a few actually. These are the pieces that go in between where the drawers faces hit. Between the drawers, this has to be, this will be showing, and it's the support for the sides as well. So at this point, I just need to put wood filler in all of these nail holes that will be showing, and anywhere else on the inside of the cabinets where it's really bad. They are going to be painted, which makes a huge difference. So I'm going to put wood filler in, and then we're going to sand everything, and then we'll be ready to put it together. Okay. we have the arrival of our new bed. Well, here they are. It's a headboard and the footboard. It's natural pine. Knotty pine goes with everything else in the house. And the two edges there. And we got... Okay, well there's our bed. The boys made another trip, or the truck driver made another trip and brought back the boards because they had forgotten them or whatever. Anyways, the guy who made the bed, the guy we bought it from, sent back 2 guys to help us put it together. And they had some convoluted idea about putting support in the middle here with some boards. Anyways, we gave them the boot and sent them home. No, they were nice. We just said, you know what, we'll do it ourselves. And that's exactly what we did. The boards that they put in here are really, really stiff. They're like hardwood from the jungle, so I don't think it's going to be an issue. So as you might have noticed, there's a small problem with this bed. Everything fits fine except that it's like a mile too high. And the problem is, they cut the bed the right size, but where they installed the stringers, I guess you call them, they just put them way too high. They need to be literally about 4 inches off the ground.
Well, today is a pretty exciting day. Decided to get busy and get started on the renos for the kitchen. Well, I got my first coat of primer on the wall. I just did it where there's not going to be any covers, so it's a different experience trying to seal up the past day, because it's mostly a lime mixture that goes on the walls, and it just sucks the moisture right out of the paint. So this is the first coat is done.